Hey everyone, Scott here from Scott's Top Tips. Continuing on how to save money on my playlist on my YouTube channel. Today, this segment, I am going to go over energy savings around your home. There's a lot of waste, and waste meaning energy. You're throwing cents and dollars out the window if you don't do these things. And just know cents equate to dollars and dollars equate to hundreds of dollars. So if you're trying to save money, these are areas that you just want to dial in and make sure that you are doing. And again, it can save you literally hundreds of dollars a month, depending on the size of your home and how much energy you are using. So let's get going. All right, the first one here is along your windows. You want to make sure that if you do not want any heat to be lost in your home, make sure your windows aren't cracked, that they're actually seated all the way. Good way to testing that is actually locking your windows just like that. And this way everything seats perfectly and you are not losing any of the heat or air conditioning through gaps within your window. For instance, if you put your hand near the gaps here and it's cold outside, which means you're probably going to have your heater on, your fireplace on, you can just feel for any coldness, which means there's a gap there and maybe your window is not entirely seated against the seal here. Conversely, you can feel just some hot air coming in if it's extremely hot outside and you have the air conditioning on. You can feel that. Or you can go outside and check as well to see if there's any cold air coming through there, which means your window is not properly seated and you are losing on air conditioning, which could be contained within your house. Another energy saver is making sure your TV is off if you are not watching it. If you go upstairs or you are meddling about in the garage and your TV's on, you're just wasting energy. You might as well just turn it off. Let's talk about blinds. Now, blinds are good for privacy, and you have little sun windows like I have up here, and you have some more privacy. When the sun is shining in the afternoons on a hot day, you want to make sure these are closed. And this way the sunlight isn't reflecting through the windows and causing a magnified heating situation, right? It's kind of like a magnifying glass. The rays go through it and it actually heats whatever you're focusing it on. Same thing for your windows. If the heat's coming through, it's actually heating up the floor, areas of your furniture, whatever, right? So you want to make sure that everything is closed on the heat of the day, and that includes drapes or curtains. Door seals are a huge one. You want to make sure your door is properly sealed all the way across. And if you look at a door seal, look at mine, you got the door seal right here. Just a little spongy self-adhesive strip that you can get at the local hardware stores or you can order on Amazon. And it just peels off and you stick it right there. And when the door shuts on it, it creates a nice seal like such. And this way you don't see any light, sunlight coming through. If you see sunlight coming through, it means you have a gap. You are losing heat or air conditioning. As I pan my camera through here, you can see that everything is good to go on that. I would do the same for any exterior doors, including your garage access door. I would just make sure that you have a good seal on that, just like your front door, okay? Most garages aren't heated, they're not insulated, so cold air can come into your house. Same thing, garages get super hot during the summer, so that hot air could be coming in as well. Okay? Lighting around your house, and I'm in the garage here because this light here is always left on. Okay? But there's ways you can fix that. If you have kids, they just leave the lights on, or you may forget, and you know what, you're just throwing money down the drain. Again, cents equal dollars, dollars equal hundreds of dollars. So with your lights, the best thing to do, and I recommend you do this, is don't just have a regular wall switch, put in a sensor switch. Super inexpensive. Again, your local hardware store, or you can get it on Amazon. It installs the same way as a regular switch, but it has this movement sensor here. Once it detects movement, this infrared sensor, then the light actually goes on. Of course, you have a manual. You can turn it on and off there. But when you walk, it turns it on. And when you walk away, it turns it off. Washer and dryer. We go through a lot of laundry in our house, a ton of laundry. I got 2 daughters, got a wife, got myself. We're constantly running our machines daily. But we do know that when we run our machines, our washer, it's always full loads. We know not to put in quarter loads or half loads. We combine our clothes if need be. And same thing goes, for the dryer. We're not going to turn on the dryer just to throw a pair of socks in there just to dry them. You want to maximize what you are using the machines for, so you're not having to keep using them. Put all kinds of clothes in one load, run its energy cycle. You don't want to keep running all those energy cycles for just, sparse garments that are going through. Do one load, not 3 loads. How many of you are in the habit of always coming in and out of your house through the garage access door? In order to do that, you have to cycle the garage door up and down, back and forth. That is just using unnecessary energy, and energy is money. Okay? You're running your electrical system, kilowatt hours, right? Or kilowatt hour, really. And again, I'm going to talk about how you calculate that. But utilize your front door in and out as much as possible without having to cycle on your garage, right? This thing, the LiftMaster, on and off. Only use that to pull your cars in and out. Okay? Really get in that habit, because this here just keeps pulling, and you're just throwing money down the drain. You wonder, like, why is my electrical bill so expensive? That's one reason. We're going to move to the automotive section here, because this is also part of your home. You want to make sure your vehicle's tires have the appropriate amount of PSI, pounds per square inch, of air within them. And you can find that out if you look on the inside right here of your car, and it talks about right here what your vehicle should be set at. Just through normal driving and all of the bumps and potholes of the road, and especially like in Southern California, we have a lot of manhole that, what the manhole covers on the road, they resurface the road, but they don't raise the collar of the manhole, so you have this huge bump and dip. Every time you hit that, it can just deplete some air out of your tire, which means you have to keep putting air into your tires. Here's a purchase, though. Some of these items, it'll save you money if you just do a small one-time purchase of devices. It's a one-time purchase, but it'll save you down the road. Case in point, for $30 on Amazon, I bought this Taronis air tire, or tire inflator, portable tire inflator. Has a little, I'm not going to pull it all the way out, but you have your nozzle on here. You set your PSI according to that sticker label that I talked about. And you could always put air in your car or your vehicle's tires when need be. If you go to the gas station, it's super expensive. Again, Southern California, it could be $1.50 to $2. I don't know, add that. Could be every couple weeks. So what you're looking at, $3 to $4, or it could be monthly. But again, all of that adds up throughout the year that you're just throwing money away. So if you just grab this will last years and years and years, and you can use it on all of your vehicles. Okay, check it out. I'll put a link in this video for that. I use it all the time, and as one of the best purchases, that small time purchase that has saved me lots of money throughout the year. And why might I buy the water heater? Well, hot showers, that pulls on your heating element of your home. Okay, so I have a natural gas water heater, not an electric one, but either way, it still pulls on your energy grid. So when you're taking super long showers just to fill the warmth in there, kind of wasting money. You want to limit that. Tell your family, hey, sometimes a nice shower just rejuvenates you, but try to keep it to about 10, 15 minutes. 30-minute showers, in my opinion, are just a waste. I want to go right back to the vehicle here. I forgot one aspect here. I'm just going to film this vehicle here. But the reason I'm coming back to this is if you are on a tight budget, a super strict tight budget, it could be that you temporarily lost your job. I know I've been subject to RIFs 3 times, reduction in force, where I got laid off. It happens to everybody. If it happened to you or is potentially going to happen to you, it's not on you. Don't feel bad. Guys, don't feel that you've lost your man card, okay? It's just how these companies are being run, and that's just how it is. It happens. But there's times you're really going to have to be on a super tight budget. So you want to watch what you are using your vehicle for. When I was subject to the RIFs, I would not drive my car down to the grocery store. Sorry, I kind of spit out there. My grocery store is about, I don't know, a quarter of a mile away. I would grab a backpack, and if it's small items, I would walk down there or, ride a bike or whatever, scooter. And then I would grab my essentials, could be milk, coffee, condiments, whatever, right? Eggs. And then I would put them back in and I would ride back. I wouldn't have to keep using the gasoline in my vehicle to go do that. So little things like that really add up to big savings. All right, I got you in the restroom. Nice and cozy here. I know, that's creepy. But I want to do this. All right. How many times that, you're in the restroom or someone's in the restroom, and afterwards, of course, you need to freshen the air. Okay? You know what I mean. Okay? You turn on the fan, and that kind of sucks everything out, the exhaust fan. And that's great. It works great. You just want to be cognizant that that doesn't stay on for hours. Right? Should only be on maybe about 15 minutes. That's enough to clear it out. Make sure you get in there and turn it off. All right, when we talk about your water bill, toilets, that's a big one. Okay. Here in California, most toilets have a code where it's only 1.6 gallons per flush, GPF. So when you're flushing the toilet, it's not really in here, it's within the tank here. 1.6 gallons is going to deplete and then fill this up and push down all of your waste. Okay, let me get my camera out of the way. We're making this a raw video, yo. All right, so you want to make sure that your toilet isn't running. And the best way to check that, of course, is one, I'm just taking stuff down. Just look inside and see if there's water that's trickling down right through there. And you just see massive movements. You may see just a little bit, but it shouldn't be constantly triggering on to fill up. Same thing here. Taking this off. Here's the inside. The way you can check here too is you want to make sure your flapper on the other side is clean so it creates a perfect seal on the bottom down here. So if I put my hand in here, okay, you can see that. All of this under here, you want to make sure that is all non-crusty, smooth, so it creates a perfect seal each time. That prevents the water from constantly running or flushing. Same thing goes for your sink down here. If you have a small drip, something like this, and it just keeps dripping even slower than that, that adds up. So again, you want to make sure that your faucet here is tightened down and does not leak. If it is, you're going to have to fix that, tighten it up. And it may be on the bottom of your sink here or just on the valves and seals within here. So here's a tip that we do during the winter months. So this is November. We're in San Diego, California. It's going to start getting cold. Believe it or not, it is starting to get cold. I know it gets down to maybe the 20 and 30s, maybe in January or so. Those of you who are in negative digits probably laughing at that. But hey, it's cold for us. Right now, though, I can at least wear a tank top. But the oven. What we do is we utilize the oven, pretty much weekly, if not 2 or 3 times a week. Okay? After we bake, like if I make pizzas, what we'll do is after the food is complete and we open it up and we remove it, right? What we'll do is we'll just crack it just like that. And we don't have any small kids in the house anymore. My daughters are grown up. And we let all of that heat come out into the house and just help, kind of get like a multi-purpose of the oven here, 2 birds with 1 stone type metaphor. And we let all of the heat dissipate because that is filled with nothing but nice heat. Let's get that out into the house. Why turn on my heater when I can just have that right now, at least for the time being? Let's talk about utilizing the vacuum cleaner. Look at my other video where I talk about using a lint roller to pick up other items, another use of a lint roller, on your floors. And the reason being, again, why plug in your vacuum cleaner to pick up a small spot of crumbs or whatever that you can, again, use the lint roller, or you can just pick it up with a rag or a dustpan, but don't always turn on an electrical device. First, see if you can clean it up without pulling on your electricity. Okay, I told you I was going to talk about kilowatt hour, so let me finish this video up with that. Kilowatt hour is basically what you are being billed for from your energy company or your, gas and electric company, utility company, for usage. So kilowatt hour, they break that out per kilowatt hour. Okay. Now, to add some relevancy to that, the national average of a household each month for kilowatt hours is about between 800 and 900 kilowatts. Okay. So at 17 cents per kilowatt hour, you're looking at about maybe onwards up to $150 a month for utility bill. Okay. The national average is about 17 cents per kilowatt hour. So depending on everything we talked about, every time you're having to reboot your machines and power them on to utilize energy just to maintain your daily lifestyle, you get billed for that. And again, cents equate to dollars and dollars equate to hundreds of dollars. So that's why that matters. So you can look at the type of machines that you have. If they're energy efficient, that means they're not going to pull as much kilowatt hours. Okay, that is good, but you also have to do the math. You may be paying a lot more money for that machine because it is eco-friendly, right, or energy efficient, I should say, than what you would have to make up in savings to get net value. So it's all about the math there. But again, you just want to be cognizant. Most people don't look at that when they buy appliances. Okay. Your light bulbs really matter too. Make sure that you get LEDs. LEDs are kind of the standard these days. I've outfitted my entire house with LEDs, including all the way up on my ceiling overheads there. These things just plug straight in. They just pop in, and they're all LED. So the incandescent bulb is pretty much, there's no use for it anymore. You want to go LED. There you have it. This is just raw video. I want to get you this information because nowadays, here in 2025, November 2025, our economy is taking hits again, and it's just really hard to live. Inflation's high, and there's just all kinds of other stuff going on. So use these tips to save money. If you save money, just basic stuff like that, that means you're going to have more money to live on. Okay? Let me know what you think. Comment below. Thanks for watching this video all the way through. Please go back and watch my other long form videos because the YouTube algorithm, by seeing that, it pushes it out to more people because that's high engagement. That's what I need to keep making these videos here. for you. But I'm Scott from Scott's Top Tips. We'll see you on the next one.